Welcome back to Everyday English Desk. I'm Janet.
And I'm Ben, and today we're talking about restaurants and all the little stressful moments that come with them.
Which sounds fun, but can also be a little stressful.
That is a very honest way to describe restaurants.
It is, because eating at a restaurant is great. Reading a giant menu while someone is standing there waiting for you to order, slightly less great.
It is. That's a very different experience.
Especially if it's a place you've never been before. Suddenly, I forget how to read.
I don't forget how to read, but I do take way too long deciding.
That also sounds stressful for everyone around you.
It can be. I like to know what all the options are.
Honestly, when I was younger, ordering at restaurants used to make me nervous.
Really?
Yes, I would read the menu over and over, panic when the server came over, and then order the safest thing I could think of.
That's actually very relatable.
Even if I wanted something else, sometimes I'd just pick the easiest thing to say because I didn't want to hold everyone up.
That makes sense.
So, yes, restaurants are fun, but they can also make people weirdly self-conscious.
That's true. But the good news is you really do not need perfect English to handle a restaurant.
No. Most of the time, you just need a few clear phrases and enough confidence to ask questions when you need to. And honestly, I feel like the first stressful moment is just arriving.
That's true, especially if it's busy.
Right, because some places want a reservation and some don't.
Exactly. If it's a busier sit-down restaurant, you might call ahead and say, "Hi, I'd like to make a reservation for tonight."
And then they'll usually ask what time and how many people.
Right. So you might say, 7 p.m. for 2 people, please.
And then they ask for your name.
Exactly.
That part is simple. The only problem is feeling confident enough to do it.
That's true. But once you've done it a few times, it starts to feel very routine.
And not every restaurant even needs a reservation.
No, a lot of places you can just walk into.
And then someone usually greets you and says something like, "How many?" or "Table for two?" or "How many are in your party?"
That last one always sounds a little formal,
It does.
but it's very common.
And if the restaurant is busy, they might tell you there's a wait,
It'll be about 15 minutes.
which is usually either completely true or not true at all.
That is a very realistic restaurant experience.
Restaurants also feel very different depending on what kind of place it is.
That's definitely true.
Because some places are casual. You order at the counter, grab your drink, and find your own table.
Yeah, and other places are more traditional sit-down restaurants where a server comes to your table and takes your order.
I think casual places are easier when you're nervous,
That makes sense.
right? There's usually less pressure. It's faster, the menu is often simpler, and no one is checking on you every 5 minutes.
That's true. Sit-down restaurants are a little more involved.
Which can be nice, but only if you're in the mood for that experience.
Exactly right.
But for me, the most overwhelming part of sit-down restaurants is still the menu.
Is it really?
Yes, because sometimes the menu is 3 pages long and everything sounds good, and now I'm supposed to make a smart decision in under 2 minutes?
That's fair. I actually like menus, but I can still take a long time deciding.
Which I'm sure servers love.
I'm sure they do not. I try to tip well for dealing with my thoroughness.
That's so nice of you. Menus also have way too many sections, which does not help.
Right. Usually there are appetizers, main dishes, sides, desserts.
And drinks, of course. The first thing I look at is to see whether it's a Coke restaurant or a Pepsi restaurant, even if I'm not planning on ordering a soda.
Even if you're not ordering soda?
Listen, I just have to make sure I know how to properly judge the place, you know?
Of course.
I'm Coke over Pepsi, by the way, but I do like Mountain Dew, so if it's a Pepsi place, it's not a deal breaker.
That's fair. I usually try to match my drink to whatever food I'm getting.
No one is surprised by that sentence. I do like appetizers, though. They feel fun.
They do. They're usually smaller dishes you order before the main meal.
And then your main dish is the main thing you're eating. Pasta, chicken, fish, a burger, whatever.
And sides are the extra things that come with it or get added on.
Fries, vegetables, salad, things like that.
Exactly. So you've had a chance to look at the menu, and then comes a moment where the server shows up and asks if you're ready.
And if you're not, this is when you try not to panic,
Yep, exactly.
because you do not have to order immediately.
No, you can just say, "Can we have a few more minutes, please?"
That one makes life so much easier. I also think one of the most useful restaurant skills is just asking questions without feeling embarrassed.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because if I don't know what something is, I'd rather ask than order something mysterious and regret it.
That's a good policy. I learned that the hard way once in Morocco.
Oh no.
Yeah, I ordered something without really understanding the menu. There was also a little bit of a language barrier, and long story short, I ended up eating sheep brain.
Im- Sorry, what?
Tasted interesting, to say the least. After that, I became a big supporter of phrases like, "What's in this?" and "How is this prepared?"
That is an incredibly strong argument for asking questions.
And "What do you recommend?" is a great one too, even though that's kind of how I got in that situation to begin with.
Yes, especially if you really have no idea what to pick. So then, when you are ready and you do know what you want, you can say, I'll have, or I'd like.
Both are very natural.
Like, I'll have the grilled chicken, or I'd like the pasta, please.
Exactly, that's right.
Okay, let's do this like a real restaurant. You be the server.
Hi, can I get you something to drink?
Yes, I'll have water, please.
Of course. Are you ready to order?
Not yet. Can we have a few more minutes?
Absolutely. Take your time.
See? That already feels better.
Right, just a normal thing people say.
And then when they come back,
Ready now?
yes, I'll have the grilled chicken, please.
Great choice. Anything else?
Actually, can I see the dessert menu?
Of course.
I'd like the chocolate cake, please.
Perfect.
That's a very realistic restaurant interaction, and I like that none of it is complicated. A situation that does get more stressful is when something goes wrong.
That's true.
Like if your food is cold.
Exactly. You can say, "Excuse me, this is a little cold. Could you warm it up?"
That sounds much better than just silently suffering. What if they bring the wrong dish?
Then you can say something like, "I'm sorry, I ordered the chicken, not the fish."
That one is very useful.
And if you have dietary restrictions, that matters too.
Right. You might say, I'm vegetarian, or no onions, please, or can I get this without cheese?
Exactly. They deal with requests like that all the time. Usually a short, clear sentence is enough.
That's a good point. Then, eventually, we arrive at my favorite part of the meal,
Dessert?
leaving.
Fair.
Because by that point, I've already made all my decisions, survived the menu, and now I just want to pay and go home.
That's a very honest answer.
Thank you.
When you're ready to leave, you can say, "Can we get the check, please?"
Very useful phrase.
And then when it's time to pay, you can say, "I'll pay with cash," or "Can I use my card?"
Simple and direct.
Exactly right.
And if you're in the US, tipping is part of the restaurant experience too.
Right. Usually around 15 to 20%.
You know what's less stressful than eating at a restaurant? Takeout.
Probably because no one is standing next to your table waiting for a decision.
Exactly.
Takeout can still have its own little stressful moments, but overall it feels much lower pressure.
Especially if you already know what you want.
Right. If you're calling in an order, you might say, "I'd like to place an order for pickup."
Or, I'd like to place a delivery order.
Yep, that's right.
And then they'll ask what you want, your name, and maybe tell you how long it'll take.
Or you ask them.
Yes, how long will that take is a very good one.
And these days, a lot of people just use apps instead.
Which is definitely easier if you're nervous because you can read everything without speaking.
That's true. It can be a nice way to practice without as much pressure.
Still counts.
Absolutely, it does.
So I think restaurants feel intimidating mostly when you think you have to be perfect.
That's true. But most of the time, you really don't.
No, you just need to be clear, polite, and willing to ask questions when you need to.
And honestly, that helps a lot more than trying to sound perfect.
Exactly. Restaurants are one of those everyday situations that start to feel normal the more often you do them.
Once you know a few natural phrases, the whole experience starts to feel a lot less stressful.
That's the goal.
For sure it is.
All right. Now we want to hear from you. What's your favorite thing to order at a restaurant?
And do you prefer eating in, getting takeout, or ordering delivery? Tell us in the comments below.
Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel for more real English conversations about everyday life. See you next time on Everyday English Desk.